Okay, this is the Smarty Pants Vitamins 2018 USMS Summer Fitness Challenge. It's a 2K swim. You can swim it any way you want to swim it. It's basically for net proceeds from this event go to USMS Swimming Saves Lives Foundation. I reprogrammed my Smart Swim for a random interval from a minute 15 to a minute 30, performing 2100s, especially for this event. I tried capturing some of the head-up display images that I was looking at during this event. Okay, so this is the beginning of the event, and you can see me pressing the start button here. I press the start button, and what that's going to do is start a 10-second countdown, and you'll see that countdown here. It's in green. You have 10 seconds before the beginning of the event. It's going to tell me the very first interval. I'll be at 0 100s. I've had 0 100s accomplished so far. And this first interval I'm doing is on a minute and 15 seconds. That means I have a minute and 15 seconds to perform 100 yards, that's 4 laps, and get back to the wall before I start the next interval. Now, because they're random intervals, I don't know what the next interval time is going to be. And I'll show you that coming up here in a moment. So I push off and we begin the first 100. Okay, so now here we're coming to the end of the first 100. That's ending the first interval. You see the countdown timer and head-up display, and that's showing us now our 10-second countdowns in the lower left corner. We're just about to click off 100 yards, and you can see now at the upper right corner, that's our first 100. And a minute 15 is about to elapse in time, and we start the next interval, the next 100, which is now delivered to us at a minute and 17.5 seconds. That means we have a minute and 17.5 seconds to do the second 100. And again, these are all random intervals, which means the next 100, same thing. We're going to have a 10-second countdown in the lower left corner before we start the next 100, and we don't know what that's going to be until the computer delivers the interval. Now, what would the purpose of this set be? It's random intervals. Really doesn't serve much of a purpose. When you're interval training, there's typically a reason that you're performing hundreds on a minute 10, 100 on a minute 5, or there's some point in your session or your season that you're a goal time, you're trying to bring your body down to a zone or a pace that fits that interval of time. Why would you use a random interval? I made this up. It was something I tried. And as it turns out, one of the things I've noticed is it causes a little bit of apprehension. You don't know what the next interval is going to be, and if you challenge yourself to a tougher low-end interval, there's a little apprehension when you're waiting on that 10-second countdown. What is the next interval going to be? You push off the wall, and there it is, and suddenly you realize you now have to change your performance to match that new interval that you're given. And if it's a tough interval, you got to work really hard on that set. And so you don't know what that interval is going to be. So you can imagine there's a lot of events you'll be in where you have this apprehension. Maybe it's the start of a swim where there's a lot of people surrounding you. Or it's open water and you're in the darkness and you're not used to that darkness. There's a little bit of apprehension there. It's a little lack of control, if you will. And so one of the things I've noticed about this set is it might be a method of training for that kind of apprehension. Okay, so now here we're coming up on the end of the set. In the last frame, it delivers a done condition. It tells you that you've finished the event of your 2100s, and at that point you'll watch I press the stop timer, which signifies or marks the end of the event and just how long we were doing these 2100s. I really enjoy this set, and it's a really neat way to challenge yourself. And like I said, since you don't know what's ahead, you have to slow yourself down and think about every single interval that's coming up, because you don't know what that next interval is going to be. So it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun having that change up at each interval. Okay, thank you for watching my video, and I greatly appreciate participating in these events. I like the charity swims, and they're all for a good cause like this. Everyone should know how to swim. Everyone. Your children, you should get them in the pool and get them to figure that out early in life. They may not take it up as a sport or as a hobby, but certainly just to know how to swim, absolutely a critical skill set to have.